Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Game Design. This is your teacher, Mr. Harrison. I've had many of you in classes before. Some of you are new to me, but we'll get to know each other a little bit as we go throughout this 9 or 10 week class. So this presentation is going to demonstrate and show you what you need to do for week one. And week one, since we're starting on Wednesday, week one is obviously a short week. So there will not be a lot of work assigned, and this week will be more of an introduction into the class, a way to get you off to a really good start. And what I mean by a really good start is that there's one assignment for this week. It's worth 100 points. And that assignment, for that amount of points, that's more than 10% of your grade for the whole course. And it's a really easy assignment. So you'll get off to a really good start. And this presentation will also show you what to expect in the class and how the class works. So let's just jump right into it. So you can see I'm in the class, and your screen will look very similar to mine. You'll have a couple of announcements here. So the overview of the class connects, you want to make sure you read that. The week one work. This is what we're going to be covering today. So all 6 of these items. So the welcome to class video, that's what you're looking at right now. The syllabus will cover, orientation section, the introduce yourself, and the My Learning Plan. Those are the main items we'll cover, and then there will be a few other items that I want to make sure I go over so you're set to do well in the class. So let's go up and look at the syllabus. So it's in the top left corner as always, and there I am on summer vacation last year on the Oregon coast. In fact, right behind me, after this picture was taken, right out here we saw a whale right behind my back. So that was really interesting. So as I said, I'm Mr. Harrison. There's my email address. Of course, if you use Kmail, then you don't have to worry about the address. That automatically goes in there. And my cell number. Best way to contact me is through Kmail, please. A little bit about me. I live in Grand Junction. Some of you may be in this area. If so, hopefully we get to meet up sometime during the course of the school year. I've taught online for a number of years with different online schools. I've also taught in regular classrooms. I coached basketball and track too. So I'm involved in schools in many number of ways. And my son goes to Grand Junction High School. He plays track and plays basketball there, and also does fairly well in school. The description of the course. So make sure you read this to learn about what you're going to do in this course. But some of the things that you will learn are how games are designed. What is the whole planning process for games? That's really important. You'll learn about the story, the level of games, the sounds, the interfaces, the music, etc. There are no prerequisites. The required material, there's only one, and that's going to be a download that you'll do later on in the course. So as this says, you're not going to use it till later, so do not download it until I tell you to, because this demo only runs for 30 days, so do not download it yet. Objectives for the course. Different types of games. What are some of the elements in games? What are the design principles in games? You're going to be doing some writing in the class. Get your ideas across. Storytelling. After all, that's what games are, right? They tell stories. How to make visually appealing interfaces using sound and music. Using game design documents. Then finally, software called Multimedia Fusion. So those are some of the objectives of the course. Then finally, the way it's outlined, you'll see it's divided into 6 different units, and each unit has specific sections that cover content for that unit. The last 2 items, the grading. Here's how you'll be graded. Right now there are about 979 points. And as I said, the one assignment you'll do this week was worth 100 points, so that's more than 10% of your grade. But you can see the breakdown over here. And in general, the 979 is probably what we'll stay at, but I may change some assignments as we go along, so the points may be adjusted, but it will never be a detriment to you. It will always be a benefit to you on those points. Now the other thing about this, always look in the grade book. I'm highlighting it here. Always look in the grade book for how much the particular assignments are worth. Because as many of you know, we teachers, we can add some content to these courses, but we cannot take out content very easily. So the course might say that a certain assignment is worth 100 points. Well, maybe I've decided that that assignment should be worth 50 points. Well, in the course it'll say 100, but then up in the grade book, right up here at the top, in the grade book it would say 50. So please make sure you look at the grade book to find out how many points things are worth. Then lastly in the syllabus, the Class Connect write-ups. And if any of you took my classes last semester in the quarter 3 and quarter 4, I implemented what are called Class Connect write-ups, and these are real easy assignments that serve as a preview for you for the work for the week. And what you'll do with these is you'll go in and you'll watch the recorded sessions that I have for the upcoming week, and then you'll answer questions. And that's a very easy way to get about 1/3 of your grade for the course. So these things are going to be worth about 300 points. And they're really easy to do, but I'll talk more about those as we go along. So that's the syllabus. Okay, getting started, of course, these are all the items we're going to look at. So we did the syllabus, orientation. Let's take a look at this. And there's a lot of information in the orientation, and you may have looked at this with your counselors and other people, but I just want you to pay particular attention to two things. The success item. So make sure you go through this and you look at how to be a successful student, how to manage your time, how to set goals for your schoolwork, how to have an effective workspace, how to work with your teachers, and then finally some writing skills. And then under study skills, if you look at that section, study skills, so preparing to study, taking notes, so building skills to help you do better in your classes. Here's an interactive about study skills, outlining and mind mapping Cornell notes, so strategies on taking notes. Part E, some reading strategies and something called interactive notebook, which is another strategy for taking notes for when you read stuff. Then finally a little game to see what you know about study skills. So those are the two that I'm particularly interested in, but you can look through all the others if you like. So let's go back to getting started. So we did the orientation quickly, the introduce yourself. Introduce yourself right here. So when you click on introduce yourself, you can see what I want is all of us to know each other a little bit better. So there's 6 items here, and as you can see, I've already put my info down here. So if I click on that, it expands it so you can read a little bit about Mr. Harrison. And you can see that all of mine are complete sentences, so please write your stuff in complete sentences. And if you want to respond to me, you can click right here, respond to me. Or if you want to respond to classmates when they start posting theirs, you can. But here, using this respond button, this is how you respond to set up your own entry. And you can see I called mine Mr. Harrison Intro. You will call yours Joe Student Intro, or whatever your name is. So please make sure you respond right here so that everything gets organized properly. And I'd really like you to reply to classmates. Ask questions, see what those people are like. And then finally, last thing here, keep the language and whatever topics you talk about, keep those appropriate for school. And I'm sure everybody can do that. So that's the one assignment I'd like you to do. Then finally, the last assignment, and this is the one worth 100 points for this week. So it's about 10% of your grade, actually a little bit more than 10%. But in this one, there are 7 questions I'd like you to answer, and this is going to give me an idea of how you're going to do the class. So what I would do if I were you is just copy those and then paste them into a Kmail, because as it says right here, you're going to copy and paste everything in a Kmail to me. And before you send it, you fix your answers. So let's say this information was sitting in the Kmail, and if you're going to do the course as scheduled, then you would just delete these 2 items. And then that would be your answer, would be right there. So you can simply delete the ones that are not your answers. Then of course for the ones you fill in, like number 4, number 6, and number 7 down below, you would in the Kmail of course type it in. Now there's no right or wrong answer to these, but you're going to be graded on the completeness of your answers. So if you just put in here like on number 4, if you explain how you'll make sure you earn the grade you want, if you put because I will work hard, that's not a sufficient answer for number 4. So you're not going to get full credit on that. So please answer these completely. Finally, when you send a Kmail, always put the name of the course in the subject line, because Kmail does not put the name of the course that you're in. And for us teachers, we'd like to know the name of the course when you send an email. So for this one, here's exactly what you'll put in the subject line. You'll put Game Design, My Learning Plan. That's exactly what you want. If you do not put that in the subject line of the Kmail, it's an automatic 5 points off. And I'm doing that because I tell you right here exactly what to put in the subject line. So that's My Learning Plan. So if I go back to the Getting Started, we've covered all of this stuff. We still have more to cover for the class, so this just gets you started on the work for the week. Now, to go further along in the class, to show you some features of the class you need to pay attention to. The first one, course schedule. So I clicked on course schedule, and I don't have the link in here yet, but course schedule is going to be in the doc sharing area. So that would come up when I click on it. I get the course schedule, and I suggest you download the course schedule and print it so you have it available to you as you work. And what I would do if I were you when you have this course schedule printed is whenever you do an item, put a check mark next to it or put a line through it. So have this in a notebook or sitting next to you whenever you work, and just put a line through the stuff that you complete. So here's the whole course schedule. You could see this is all of week 1 work. Then week 2 work, you'll watch the recording for the week. You do the Class Connect write-up. And then week 2 you do these items. And I just put Tuesday and Thursday because I recommend those as the days that you would do the work. Because we're going to have our Class Connects on Mondays. So you could do the Class Connect on Monday, then you do your work on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the work is due on the Sunday at the end of the week. So again, I suggest you download this, print it out, then you have it available for you whenever you want to do your work. Okay, back to our course. So you've downloaded the game design document. The Class Connects, really important. Let's talk about this. As this says, many teachers have the live Class Connects to present the week's work. Well, I do it differently. What I do is I have the live Class Connects. Those are like question and answer times, so like office hours. I want you all to come into those, but sometimes you might just come in and say, hey Mr. H, I'm doing fine, I don't have any questions. And then you just pop out and you get off to do your work. Others of you, you might stay around if you need help on an assignment, need me to clarify something, or if you have an issue with the class or something like that. So there are many reasons to so for the Class Connects, you want to attend all the Class Connects, log into them, the live ones, and if you have nothing to do, then you log in for a couple minutes, say hello, and then you can get out and get your work done. But please attend these. Class Connects for this class, Mondays from 9 to 10 in the morning. So I hope you can pull yourself out of bed to get to the Class Connects. Okay, how to use the Class Connects in this class? Well, as I said, at the start of each week, there'll be the recorded Class Connect, which outlines the work for the week. And what's great about these recordings, I cover the whole lesson. I also answer the questions for the Class Connect write-ups. So all you have to do for the write-ups is you just watch the recording and then complete the write-ups as you watch the recording, and that assignment is finished. You turn it in and it's finished. So you'll make sure you watch the Class Connect recording. You'll log into the weekly live Class Connects on Monday from 9 to 10 just to say hello or to ask questions, whatever it is. And then finally, the Class Connect write-ups. You'll have those to do. They introduce you to the topic. And here's an example. I'm going to go over here because I have one for week 2. Go right down here, check this out. Class Connect write-up for week 2. This is all it is. Look, 6 questions. So all you will do to answer these is you'll watch the recording that I have for the week, and you'll look for these specific answers. And you answer these, and then you take all of your answers, you paste it into the Dropbox area, and you submit it that way. You do not attach a file. You just paste the text into the Dropbox. and you send it along your way, and those are worth 30 points. Very easy 30 points for the week. But I'll talk more about that on the week 2 recording also. So that's the class connects. Communications for the class, very important. And as you know, online environments, since we don't see each other face to face, communication is extremely important between the teacher and the student. And there are a bunch of ways that we communicate in this class. The first one is the announcements. So I recommend that you look at the announcements every day you log in. Make sure you look at any new announcements. Because what I do with my announcements is probably about 3 different things. First of all, I'll give you the announcement at the beginning of the week telling you what the work is for the week. Second of all, an announcement might be used for course issues. Maybe if 2 or 3 students have said, hey, I don't understand how to do this assignment, then I would use the announcement as a way to tell everyone in the class about that assignment. Then finally, I may often use the announcements, or not often, but occasionally, as a way to get extra credit. So I might put an announcement in that says, hey, for 10 points extra credit, do this work by Friday. So if you don't log in regularly, and if you don't look at the announcements, you're not going to see that you could get 10 extra credit points. So announcements are one way. K-mail, another way. This is the best way to get a hold of me, because I check my K-mail all the time. Now the thing about K-mail, as I said before when we were talking about that learning plan activity, whenever you do a K-mail, and do this for all of your classes, in the subject line put the course name as well as the subject of your email, the topic of your email. So here's an example. Game design, need help with character development assignment. So you would put that in the subject line, and then within the body of the K-mail you would say, hey, Mr. Harrison, in this character development assignment, I don't understand what it means by physical part of a character. And if you explain it well like that, then I can answer you back. Now the other thing about K-mail, if you are sending a new topic, please use a new K-mail. Do not just reply to an old K-mail that I sent you, but we're talking about a new topic. That is really, really confusing. So I hope you understand that. Whenever you send a K-mail, make sure that the subject line is appropriate for the subject you want to talk about in the K-mail. Please, please do that. Finally, the last thing, within the K-mail, of course, be specific. Because if you're really specific, then I might be able to reply back with the immediate answer, rather than us having to toss 4 or 5 K-mails back and forth. Phone calls. It's best to schedule phone calls ahead of time. So if you need help with a specific thing, you can send me an email. Hey, Mr. Harrison, I'd like to talk to you. Can we talk at 4:30 this afternoon? Here's my phone number. That's fine. We'll schedule a time we can get on the phone. If it's an emergency, you can call my cell number. But very seldom do I think students have emergencies with teachers, unless an assignment is due at 10 o'clock and it's 9:59, you need to call me. That would be fine. But K-mail's the best way. Okay, I talked about class connects. I also have a third type of a class connect, and this is called an immediate class connect. And as many of you know, with class connects we can only schedule them on the hour, like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or on the half hour, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. Well, what if a student says to me, hey, Mr. H, I need some help, and it's maybe 10:05. Well, I'd have to go in and schedule a class connect, then at 10:30 we would have to meet in there, etc. Well, I have what's called an immediate class connect that I have set automatically, and all you do is click the link, and that takes you to that room. So in this instance, if we've talked and we decide that you need some class connect help, then I'll say, hey, I'll meet you in 5 minutes, and I'll go into the room, and then you go and log into the room, and we're right there ready to work. We don't have to wait for the clock to tell us it's time for us to get together. I'll talk more about that shortly. And finally, I'll try to have Windows Live Messenger open, and here's my information if you want to connect with me that way. Here, immediate help. I just mentioned this, but for immediate help, again, if I've said to you, hey, I'll meet you in Class Connect in 3 minutes, then you go right in here, you click immediate help, click right here, and that'll take you right into that session, and you and I are there ready to work. Teacher contact information, you can see that. I've shared a lot of that with you already. The grading information. We've discussed the points and everything. I also want to share with you the activities. So you'll see about 41 activities in this class, assignments and such, the points that they're worth total, and the percent of the total. And this only shows 99, but like this one is 19.7, this one might be 10.2, so I didn't put that decimal but all of these points right here add up to 979. And if I ever have to make any adjustments to the points on the assignments, then of course I will adjust it in here. This is where you can find that information. So that is it. That's the class. That's your jumping off point ready to go. I look forward to your work, and I look forward to getting some really nice game designs and some thoughts out of each of you for the work we're doing in this class. So get off to a great start. Get week 1 work turned in by Friday, and that's going to be worth 100 points, and you'll be well on your way to getting a good grade in this class. So thanks a lot, everybody, and I expect to see everybody check in at 9 o'clock on Monday morning for our first live Class Connect. Thanks, everyone. Bye.